Hi everyone, welcome back. Today we're doing a favorites video. It's been a few months since I've done one of these. I try to go a few months in between doing a favorites video just so I can really figure out the products that are worthy of making it into these videos. So that's why I don't do them every month. But I wanted to share some skincare things, some makeup of course, and just some random lifestyle things that I've been loving as well. I know a lot of you like when I incorporate things other than makeup, so I have some random things to share with you today as well. So that's what we're doing today. If you're new here, my name is Blair. I do all kinds of beauty content here on my channel. I would love for you to stick around and subscribe, but let's just get into the favorites. All right, let's get into it. So let's start with skincare products. I want to talk about an eye cream. I don't know that I'm not sure I've ever shared a favorite eye cream in a video like this. And the reason for that is because I'm not super impressed typically by eye creams. And I am someone that I will spend money on an eye cream. I absolutely will, especially as I've gotten older, since I've turned 30, since I had a baby. I don't mind spending a little bit more money on one. So during the last Sephora sale, I bought this one. This is the U Beauty, the Return Eye Concentrate. And the reason I bought this, just to be honest, is because I have heard people talk about this for a few years as being a holy grail product. And I've been curious about it, but it is on the expensive side. So I waited until the Sephora sale, finally decided to pick it up. And I hate to say this, but this is the first eye cream that I can ever think of that I've ever tried that I actually think does make a difference. It is kind of a thicker gel texture, like a gel cream, I guess is how I would describe it, which I like, especially for nighttime. I like an eye cream that's on the thicker side. I have only been using this at night just because I'm trying to conserve. I don't want to use it up too quickly because it's expensive. So I've been using it at night, and I swear since I've been using this, my eyes the next morning when I go to wash my face, brush my teeth, when I look at my eyes, I feel like my eyes just look a little less sunken into my head. So that's something I've noticed in the past like 2 years, I would say, maybe 3, really since I turned 30. I feel like my eyes are starting to like recede into my head a little bit, it's definitely making like my darkness worse under my eyes. For whatever reason, after I started using this, I feel like my eyes don't look as sunken. Like this area doesn't look as receded, if that makes sense, which I don't know if it's the eye cream, but this is the only thing that I've been using under my eyes that's new. And I feel like it's made a difference. So I do have to say I'm really enjoying this. I like this enough that I would buy it again. And that's saying a lot because like I said, it's not inexpensive. It's very expensive, but I'm thinking that maybe I will repurchase it during the next Sephora sale. And it just feels good. It feels really thick and nourishing and like it's actually doing something under your eyes. Next is a product I actually just ran and got it out of my empties bin. This is the Medic 8 C-Tetra Advanced Vitamin C Gel. So I've really, in the last like year since I had my son, I've really been working on my skin as much as I can at home because pregnancy definitely changed my skin. It changed the tone, a little bit of the texture. It's just a little bit different. If you're a mom, I'm sure you know exactly what I mean. So I've been trying a bunch of different things at home and I've been experimenting with different vitamin C's. This one is probably my favorite that I've tried, and it's 20% vitamin C. Now, the reason I liked this one is because this is not what I've typically known as a vitamin C. You know how vitamin C serums are really liquidy, like almost a watery texture. Typically they have kind of a weird smell, like kind of like hot dogs. This one was more of a thicker serum, so it wasn't that watery texture and it didn't have a weird smell. It also didn't make my other products pill. I've had that issue with vitamin C over the years. Sometimes I feel like they can make your makeup pill and they can also make your sunscreen pill, your other skincare products, if you're not careful. This one, I think because it is that serum and not a regular like watery texture, I think it just worked well with makeup. And vitamin C to me is really important, especially as you age, just to help keep your skin looking brighter, not as dull. It can help with melasma, any darkness, dark spots that you have. So I always use a vitamin C. I never skip it. Moving on to something else that I've been doing at home for the past few weeks. It's a skincare device, and thank you to Dreame for partnering with me on this portion of today's video. As y'all know, I've partnered with Dreame before, but today I wanted to share their LED mask with you. So this is the Dreame Chrona LED Mask. So like I said, the reason that I was interested in LED light therapy is I've just been working on my skin. My skin has definitely changed since I had a baby, and I'm trying to get it in its best state again. And like I said earlier, I've been trying a ton of different things at home to see what would help, what would make a difference. And light therapy is something that I hadn't tried, but I'm here to tell you this does make a difference in your skin. It makes a difference in how your skin looks and feels. It also makes a difference in how your makeup lays on your face, which if your skin is not good, your makeup is not going to be good. It doesn't matter if you apply the most expensive makeup out there. If your skin is not in a great state, it's not healthy, it's not going to look good. It doesn't matter. So I've been really focusing on my skin for the past year. So what I've learned about LED light therapy is it does more than just target the surface of your skin. It helps with cell turnover, and it also helps with repair damage. So from the sun, from hormones, from the environment, whatever, it really targets your skin beneath the skin, not just the surface. But of course, as a mom, I don't have a ton of time to go to appointments or facials. So something like this that I can do at home for a few minutes a day is ideal for me. So what I love about this mask in particular is how soft it is. So it's flexible, it's not hard or rigid, so it's not something that you're not going to want to wear. And it also not only covers your face with the light, it also covers your neck. It's also completely wireless, so there's no cords hanging, and you can do anything you need to do while wearing your mask. So last night I was folding some laundry and I was wearing my mask, and then I needed to go kind of clean up the playpen for Woods, so I did that. Just kind of tidying up the house a little bit before I went to bed. I did all that while I was wearing my mask, and I can do that because it's wireless, there's nothing hanging, so it's really convenient. It also has 5 light therapy modes to target redness, dullness, aging spots. And you have 5 modes and 1 combo mode, which is my favorite. Typically, I use the combo, which kind of does a little bit of everything. Do you see how strong and even the light coverage is? It's FDA cleared and SGS tested with visible improvements after 28 days. I've definitely noticed my skin looking better overall and a difference in how my makeup goes on as well. But of course, the most important thing with any skincare product is consistency. So you have to keep up with this in order to see results. It even has eye protection, like you can see here, for comfort. So this is really smooth right here. It also kind of protects your eyes and gives you a little bit of room between your face and the mask to breathe, which is nice. And it also comes with 2 batteries, so you don't have to charge it every single time you use it, which is also really nice. So if you're a mom or you're just busy and you want something nice and quick that you can do at home for just 10 to 15 minutes without having to go to an appointment or a spa for a facial, highly recommend looking into the Dreame Chrona LED face mask. I'll make sure to link the mask in the description box. It is on sale right now when this video goes up, and it also has a 30-day return window, which is nice as well. So thank you to Dreame for partnering with me on this portion of today's video. All right, let's move into a few body products. I have kind of gotten into body oils. I have never used a body oil in my life. And I don't know, I was in Target one day and I just picked this up. It smells incredible, but this is the Soleil Nourishing Body Oil. This is the Pink Beach scent. So it's a little bit sweet, not anything crazy, but it definitely has a little bit of sweetness to it, but not too much. I don't know why I've never used a body oil before. I am typically someone that has really dry body skin. My face is not dry, but I'm really bad about applying lotion or body cream to my body. So I thought maybe if I tried this, that might help, and it does. I like this because it also gives my skin a little bit of a sheen, like hydrated and healthy and not dry and dull. You know what I mean? That's why I've been liking a body oil. So I've really been enjoying this. It does come in a bunch of other scents as well. It's also kind of like, it's kind of a dry oil, so it's not incredibly slippy when you put it on, which I also really like, but it just gives your skin a really nice kind of healthy glow. And the other thing I wanted to mention, I actually just used this up. So I just got it out of my empties bin. The Cyklar Bergamot Bond Body Wash. Okay, I bought this during the Sephora sale because I couldn't resist the smell. The smell of this is like a fresh musk smell. I mean, it kind of smells masculine a little bit, but it is just the most clean and fresh scent. So when I used this up, I was sad. I was really sad, and I already bought this again, which I'm not sure I ever repurchase body washes. I'm pretty positive that I might have like one time in the past, but I typically don't. This one I loved so much that I went out and bought it again. And I also bought the body cream, which I also never do, but I just love the smell. So if you like something fresh and a little bit musky, like very earthy smelling, you'd probably love this. It also lathers really well, which I appreciate. I hate it when I buy a body wash and it doesn't lather. Maybe that's better for you. It doesn't dry your skin out maybe, but I personally, if I'm gonna use a body wash, I want it to lather. I want to smell it, and I want to continue to smell it after I get out of the shower, and I do with this one. So to me, this was worth spending the money on it, and I absolutely repurchased. Okay, let's get into makeup. So these favorites were pretty easy because lately the things that I really like, that's just what I'm going for, and I'm kind of using the same products over and over and over. One of them I do have on right now, the CoverGirl Simply Ageless Skin Perfector Essence. So I think I talked about this. Oh, I talked about this in my top 3 video, and this was one of my top 3 skin tints. I am in love with this stuff. I wear the shade Light Neutral. This is just as good as the Chanel, and I can't believe I'm saying that, but it is. It is so similar to the Chanel Water Fresh tint, but I do think this one gives just a little bit more of a tint. I could be wrong, but every time I use this, I feel like I get a little bit more in terms of coverage than I do with the Chanel, but it looks like nothing. Like, this is the ultimate no makeup type of complexion product. I do have this on today, and I just used concealer to add coverage where I needed it. But I am consistently reaching for this stuff. I cannot believe it took me so long to try this. And then the other complexion product, completely different from the CoverGirl, you probably already know, but the new Makeup Forever Skin Balancing and Perfecting Foundation. Anytime that I have worn an actual foundation in the last 2 months, maybe a little bit more than that, this is the one that I'm going for. This is the most beautiful natural satin finish, medium to full coverage, depending on if you build it up at all. And it is extremely long wearing. But my favorite thing about this is the finish. I love a good natural satin finish. That is always what I prefer in complexion products. I am going to a wedding next month, and this will be the foundation that I'm wearing because it always looks good. It has never disappointed me. It wears well and it gives amazing coverage. So I personally think any skin type would like this. Of all the new foundation releases that I've tried this year, this one is my favorite. Okay, one thing I wanted to mention that I've kind of rediscovered since I started my project pan. So a few weeks ago, I shared that I wanted to do a project pan. I have 26 products that I'm working on, either finishing up or just hitting pan on or getting close to finishing them up by the end of 2026. One of those products is this concealer. This is the Haus Labs Triclone Skin Tech Concealer. I have had this concealer for a long time and I've always thought that I liked it, but it's never been one that made a huge impression on me. Well, since I put it in my project pan, I've been reaching for it quite a bit. This is what I used today with the CoverGirl Perfector, and I love this stuff actually. This is kind of a thicker gel consistency, but it's pretty hydrating. And I like pairing it with things that are a little bit more of a natural finish or even like a soft matte finish. And I also like spot concealing with it like I did today with this CoverGirl. I love it under my eyes. That thicker kind of gel texture I really enjoy, especially if you have a drier skin type. I think you would really appreciate this. So I wanted to mention it because I've kind of rediscovered it and I'm really loving it. And this is a really old product in my collection, but ever since I started my project pan, I've really been liking this. Okay, so the last few months, we've had so many bronzer releases and there's a few that have really stood out to me. I'm going to mention this quickly because I can't not mention it. I did mention this in my last favorites video, the Westman Suntone Bronzing Duo. This is my most used cream bronzer in my collection right now. It's my #1 over everything right now. I just can't get enough. It's that really beautiful cream to powder texture. So it's creamy when it goes on, but then on the skin, it has more of a blurred finish. I love that you get 2 shades. One's a little darker, one's a little lighter, one's cooler, one's warmer. This is an expensive product. This is worth it in my opinion. So I wanted to mention it, but something else that I've been loving that is similar to the Westman, and it's a lot less expensive, is the new e.l.f. Soft Glam Cream Bronzer. I actually haven't heard very many people talk about this. I think this is a great cream bronzer from the drugstore, and I will also say, I don't think there are a ton of great cream bronzers at the drugstore in general. I've tried a lot. I don't love a lot of them. This is the first one in a long time that's really stood out to me. I have the shade Light Medium, and it is warmer, but what I like about this shade is it's not orange. It's definitely got some warmth to it, but it's not that extremely warm orange tone that we get a lot with cream bronzers. This one is warm, but more of like a neutral warm. But what I love most about this is the cream to powder. I'm loving the cream to powder finish right now. This one is pretty creamy, but then when it goes on the skin and you blend it out, it's more of a blurred finish. As you can see there, it also is really easy to blend out. It's a very buildable formula, so you can get a really light application or you can kind of build it up and get more. I do have this on now and I love these. I think these are kind of underrated. I haven't heard a ton of people talk about them, but I really like those from e.l.f. And then the other bronzer I wanted to mention, I can't remember if I've mentioned this in a video yet, but Chantecaille recently released a new shade of their Real Bronze bronzer. So this is a powder bronzer, but the Chantecaille formula is it's like a gel powder, I think is how they describe it. So it's really thin, like it doesn't feel powdery. You can't really feel it at all when you swatch it. It's so thin on the skin. So that is it on my finger. But the reason that I like this is the shade. This shade is called Soleil. So that is Soleil right there. And do you see the difference between those two? So the e.l.f. is definitely warmer, a little bit more yellow, golden tint. Soleil is more neutral to cool leaning. It almost has a little bit of like a red tone to it, which is so hard to find in bronzers. This is so gorgeous. I love the shade, and the finish is also really pretty. You can see it has a little bit of a sheen, but there's no shimmer or glitter in it. It just has that really nice, kind of like the Hourglass bronzers have. This is similar, just a little bit of a natural glow. It looks great as eyeshadow as well. I have a little bit of this in my crease today. Okay, moving into blush. Okay, I'm gonna kind of eat my words on this product because I have said that this product is not worth the money, and it's not. You do not have to pay the money for this product, but I'm gonna put it in here because for the past month, I have used this Prada blush consistently in the shade Dahlia. Here's the thing, this formula is gorgeous. It is the cream to powder again. It's honestly extremely similar to this Westman bronzer. So when it goes on, it has a really nice, soft, blurred, diffused look on the skin, which I'm into right now. In the past, I haven't really loved that type of formula. I don't know what's happened, but I'm really into smoothing, like creamy, then blurred finishes in makeup right now. I don't know why. This formula is absolutely gorgeous, but the packaging is what sucks. It's cute, but it is thin, or not thin, it's not heavy. It feels very cheap. So for that reason, I can't tell you that it's worth spending the money on, but what I will tell you is the formula is beautiful. This is the shade Dahlia, and it is, such a pretty shade too. I also love it on my lips. Let me swatch it for you. How pretty is that color? It's like the perfect rosy pink that's pretty neutral. I wouldn't say it's incredibly warm or cool toned. I have said that this is not worth it in a video, and it's not. For the money, it's not. But I will say I have thoroughly enjoyed this formula and this shade for the past month. But another formula that I've also enjoyed that is honestly kind of similar, the e.l.f., the Soft Glam Cream Blushes. So they are also the cream to powder type of formula. I have a few of them here. The one I use the most is pink on it, which I think is the lightest shade. I'll show you what it looks like. It's similar, not really. I was gonna say it's similar to Dahlia. It's not really though. The pink on it shade is more pink. It's more like a baby doll pink. And Dahlia just leans a little bit more neutral. It's not that bright, like soft baby doll pink. But the formula is somewhat similar. I don't think the e.l.f. is as blurring as the Prada, but I think it's close. So you can see once you blend out the e.l.f., you do have a little bit of a sheen there, but you get a similar type of finish to the Prada. But I also have Heat Check, which is more of a red, and I also have Muted Mauve, which is a mauve, obviously, but pink on it has been my favorite. So if you want something similar that's a little bit less, or a lot less expensive, I love the e.l.f. blushes and bronzers. And one more blush that I have to mention, I think I mentioned these actually in my top 3 video as well. These NARS blushes, the light reflecting luminizing blushes. I have Lucky Love and Love Deep. I have Love Deep on today, which is the deeper one. So Love Deep looks like this. That is it on my finger. So these give you a lot of glow. So if you don't like that, you will not like this. But they also do give you some color. It's not all wet, shiny glow, especially if you get a darker shade. So that is the shade Love Deep right there. Really beautiful, like rosy pink, like a mauvey rosy pink, I guess. But these are so fine, very refined in terms of the shimmer and that glow that you get. So they're not chunky at all. You don't see any big chunks or flecks of glitter in them, but they give you a little color and a little bit of glow, like you can see there. I love these. I really, really love these. Lucky Love is really pretty too. It's the really bright pink. This is more of like a blush topper to me, so you can see they are reflective though. So if you don't like that, you will hate these. But if you're into that type of product, that is Lucky Love right there. This is actually probably my favorite launch from NARS in a very long time. And then of course, the Farah Hamidi bronzer. This is the lightest shade in Nude, I'm not sure. This does not give you glow like those NARS blushes. This gives you a little bit of sheen, but it's not anything crazy. So that is the bronzer there. I'm running out of room here. Let me swatch it for you. So that is the Farah Hamidi bronzer right there. So you can see it's a little bit more cool toned than the Prada blush, and you can see it has a little bit of sheen, like more than the Prada for sure. The Prada doesn't have any, but it's not as reflective as these NARS Luminizing blushes. It has just a very, very slight natural glow. But this shade is beautiful if you feel like a lot of blushes turn warm on you, especially if you have a neutral to cool leaning undertone. This shade is absolutely beautiful. It gives you a little bit of a slight warmth, but it pulls pretty neutral is how I would say, or at least it does on me. These are expensive. You can buy just the refill, which is nice, but yes, they're expensive. But to me, this formula is very, very luxurious and worth the money, so I don't mind spending the money on it. In terms of powders, I've rediscovered 2 powders in my collection. These are not brand new to me, but I've had this powder for a while, the Huda Beauty, the pressed powder. This one is the shade Poundcake. So I've never been a huge fan of the loose powder from Huda, mainly because of the smell. The smell is really off-putting to me, and it's kind of strong. That powder also looks a little bit heavy in my opinion. The pressed version, I love. Actually, I'm kind of mad at myself. I've been sitting on this powder for months. I haven't really used it, but I've had it in my everyday makeup drawer for the past few weeks, and this is a great pressed powder. Very similar, I would say, to like the Charlotte Tilbury, the pressed powder. I can't think of the name of it. I don't own that anymore, but years ago I used that, and that's kind of what this reminds me of. It's very blurring and obviously very mattifying on the skin, but it doesn't look heavy, and it's a nice pressed option. I don't really have too many pressed setting powders that I love, so I'm happy to have rediscovered this. This is the other one I wanted to mention again. I mentioned it in a few videos, but I want to mention it one more time. The Laura Mercier, the Ultra Blur, the loose version. This is a great loose powder. Again, this is kind of in hiding in my drawer. The last few months I pulled this out, and I'm so glad I did. This is a fantastic setting powder. I do think loose powders set the makeup a little bit better than like a pressed powder like this. But sometimes pressed is just, it's easier. It's a little bit more convenient than a loose powder. But if I was doing like makeup for a long wear day or special occasion event or something, this is definitely the powder I would go for. It's similar to Makeup by Mario, the loose powder, the Surreal Skin powder, but this one is slightly more blurring. This is the most blurring loose powder I think that I've ever seen, like even more so than my L'Oreal Blurfection, which I love. But I don't know, I feel like this powder is kind of being slept on. I haven't been super into eyeshadows and especially palettes, so I don't have many new things to share as a favorite in the eye category, but I do have a few things. I have been thoroughly enjoying this single shadow. So this is from Violette FR, and it's the Plume eyeshadow, the Feather Matte Veil, in the shade Lait Au Cafe, which is a really nice, neutral, boring brown shadow, which is what I love. So that is it on my finger. This formula, it's so hard to explain it. It feels like nothing. Like it's so thin that when you swatch it, it feels like there's nothing on your finger. But it does give you some color. But this is more of like a no makeup. Like I didn't try to do anything on my eyes type of product. So that is it there. It's just a nice, neutral, slightly warm leaning brown. But it is so easy to use. Use your finger. Literally just tap it on and that's it. But what I will say about these is you have to like kind of an undone, not perfect looking eyeshadow to appreciate this. And they are not the longest wearing. They're just not. The formula is not really made to be that because they're so thin and barely there. Throughout the day, they will fade a little bit, but what I have found is if you put a little bit of some type of powder, whether it's powder bronzer, one powder eyeshadow, or even like a setting powder, pressed or loose over this, it definitely helps it last longer. But if you don't apply anything with it and you just use these, they do wear away a little bit throughout the day, like not to the point where there's nothing left, but they're not super long wearing, but they're not meant to be. So for like a no makeup kind of day, I have been loving this. I have this on today with a little bit of this from MAC. This is the Extra Dimension eyeshadow in the shade Sweet Heat, which is the most beautiful, really intense, like wet rose gold kind of eyeshadow. So that is it there. So you can apply it really opaque like this, or you can do what I did today, which is just barely tap into it and just kind of touch your eye with it, and you get more of like a scattered effect, that really nice wet sheen, not a lot of color. So this, for any type of sparkle on my lid, I've been loving this lately. So this is what I have on my eyes today, a little bit of these two, and a little bit of that Chantecaille bronzer in my crease. I've also discovered a few weeks ago that I have been missing out on waterproof mascara. I have gone 33 years and never tried a waterproof mascara until about a month ago. And so many people have told me over the years, try waterproof, try waterproof, try waterproof, and I just wouldn't do it. Finally, I bought a waterproof mascara, and I gotta say, I might be a waterproof mascara person now. This is Maybelline Sky High, which I've tried before, but not in the waterproof version, and it holds the curl. It does. Like, my lashes don't hold a curl anymore. When I use this, they stay curled. When people would say that to me, I thought that was a joke, kind of like, oh, waterproof's not gonna make a difference. No, I was wrong. It does make a difference. My lashes stay looking like this until I remove my makeup. And lately, regular mascaras are just not holding a curl. Some of them work better than others, but nothing works like this has worked. So unfortunately, I think I'm a waterproof mascara person now. The only thing I don't like about it, well, two things. It's hard to remove, which makes sense. It's waterproof, so I feel like I have to really work to get it off. And number two, waterproof formulas don't come in brown for some reason. Like this Maybelline one is black brown, but I can't find waterproof in brown. Does anybody know why that is? Or do you know of a brown mascara that is waterproof? Please let me know if you do, because it's gonna be hard to go back now because I know that this will actually hold my lashes like this all day. A few lip products that I've been using quite a bit is what I have on my lips now. First, the Summer Fridays Lip Liner Stain in the shade Almond. So I will say the applicator on this is not my favorite. This applicator is kind of funky. It has this little like ball on it right there. Do you see that? Like a little felt ball. And sometimes it doesn't apply as evenly as I want it to with that, but usually it's just for a second or two. If you keep going, it'll start to evenly disperse. But the reason I like this is the color. This is the most perfect neutral nude brown lip liner stain that I've tried. So that is it right there. So it goes with everything, but what I've learned is when you use a lip liner stain like this and then you go over it with a regular lip liner, your liner will stay all day. I don't know what it is, but something about using a stain first. I don't know if it just gives the regular liner something to grip to or what. But I have been pretty consistently, when I put on a lip, using a stain first. And this is the one I've been going for. I love that one with this. Again, from Summer Fridays, it's the regular lip pencil in the shade Toffee. So I'll swatch them next to each other. So today I have on the stain and then Toffee. So that's it there. It's kind of like a little bit of a rosy brown, I would say, but it goes so well with that almond lip stain. And these, the lip liners from Summer Fridays are really nice. They're just a standard wooden pencil, but they're pretty creamy for a wooden pencil. The shade Toffee is perfect, especially when you pair it with the lip liner stain. Helps these last longer. These are not, they don't wear away immediately, but they're not the longest wearing lip pencil that I've ever used. They're kind of in the middle. If you pair it with the stain, that's the winning combo. And then over it, this new Dior lipstick. These are the new Dior Addict Glassy lipsticks in the shade Dior Sweet. When you see the shade, I'm sure it won't shock you because it looks like the type of shades that I typically go for. So that is it, shade 504 Dior Sweet. So you can see this is a lipstick that's a little bit more sheer, but you do get some color. It's not like you don't get anything from it, but it's definitely on the sheer side, and it makes your lips look wet. Glassy, glossy. If you like that look, you will love these. It does have a really strong fruity scent. It's not like off-putting, like I wouldn't use it, but it's pretty strong. So just know that. There's no plumping or tingling at all. It's just really glossy, which y'all know I'm all about a lip gloss. So a lipstick that is very glossy is right up my alley. So that is it for makeup, but I wanted to quickly mention a few brushes from Real Techniques. So Real Techniques has just recently released a ton of new brushes, and I picked up a few of them. They're really good. They're very affordable, and I want to share. I've talked about them on Instagram a little bit, but these are two of the new brushes with Kelly Ann. So she's a makeup artist. She's a celebrity makeup artist. I've been following her for years. I love her. Definitely go check her out. I will try to remember to link her Instagram below, but she did a collaboration with Real Techniques, and these are two of the brushes. There are some sets and some individual brushes. These are the individual ones. So you have the Everything Cream brush, which is this kind of larger, slightly angled, slightly dense brush, but it's not incredibly dense. It has some movement. Like you can see when you press, the bristles do kind of splay out. So you get a little bit of density, but it's not as dense as like the 115 from BK Beauty. This is very, very dense. Like the bristles don't move. This one has a little bit of density, but you do get movement. So this is great for applying something more sheer, like a skin tint. I've been loving using this brush with a skin tint. Today I used it with the CoverGirl. And then the other end basically has the same brush, but like a smaller size. So you can use this for anything. Concealer. You can also use it for cream blush. It's pretty small, so you can get more of a precise placement. But I love this, and I think this brush is $16. It's very affordable, very good, high quality. If you're into dual-ended brushes, this one is great. So the other one is the Everything Powder Brush. So you get a larger side and a smaller side. I've been using the smaller side to set my face, like the T-zone. This is the perfect size. And it's kind of fluffy. It's a little bit dense. It's a little tapered. It's just the perfect setting powder brush. For me, I like something on the smaller side for that. And then the other end is bigger. So today I used it for that Chantecaille powder bronzer to go over the cream bronzer, and it's great. These are such nice quality, and they're $16 for two brushes basically. So I wanted to mention them. And then one more, the Precise Blush Brush. This is also new from Real Techniques, but it's not dual-ended. So this is basically a smaller version of their original blush brush. I don't think I have that brush anymore, but it's this, but a lot bigger. So this is just like a mini version of it, which is really nice because their original blush brush is so big that if you have a smaller face or you want a more precise application for powder blush, it's going to be really hard to do that with their original brush. This one is much smaller and it's the perfect size. Today I used this with the NARS blush, and it's perfect. I love it. You could also use this for bronzer if you wanted. You could use this for powdering if you wanted. It's just a great size. Y'all know I typically use my BK Beauty brushes, which I love. But these, I gotta say, they're really nice, high quality for a lot less. So I wanted to mention them if you're in the market for new brushes and you want something that's a little more affordable. Finally, I have a few lifestyle things that I wanted to share. One is these biker shorts from Amazon. So you might have seen these. A lot of people talk about this brand, but these are from the brand CRZ Yoga. And these, okay, if you like the Lululemon Align leggings, which I love, I have purchased those for many years, but in the last few years, I just have not wanted to spend the money on those. I love them. They're so nice and comfortable, but these are so similar, and they are at least half the price, maybe a little bit less than that. So I wear these all the time for my workouts. They are buttery, soft, and really high quality, very flattering. I love them. So I have several. This is the brown color, but they come in tons of colors. But if you're in the market, these from Amazon, try these. If you're a Lululemon lover, I totally get it. But they're so similar. Now, another thing, this is a workout top. So I've been really into my workouts lately because, like I said earlier when we were talking about the mask, I've really been focused on just getting myself feeling good again, feeling more like myself, feeling like a really healthy, really fit version of myself. So I've been really into workout clothes. I have discovered this shirt, and I now own this shirt in all 5 colors that it comes in. I will insert a picture here or maybe a video of me wearing it, but it's this cropped tee. It's from Offline Aerie. So there's Aerie and then there's Offline Aerie, which is more of like their workout clothes. This is from that line, and I bought one of them in store, and I wore it so much that I ordered more because they didn't have all the colors in the store. But it's just perfect. It's kind of like that soft modal fabric. It's a little stretchy and it's cropped. So it goes perfectly with those biker shorts or just like workout shorts in general. And it's just perfect. Good for walks. When I go on long walks, I will often wear these. I will link them for you. So if you want like a good throw over a sports bra type of top, really comfortable, super cute, comes in a few different colors. These are great. I will link those for you. And then one other like workout related thing are these New Balance shoes. So I talked about these in one of my Instagram reels that you might have seen, but these are the New Balance 9060s. So I was in need of a new pair of shoes for my workouts, for walking, and I did a lot of research, and these got great reviews, and for good reason. These shoes felt so comfortable right out of the box. Like they felt like I'd been wearing them for 6 months when I wore them for the first time. Like there was no break-in period. They are so comfortable. They're very supportive, great for walking or lifting weights or just for being cute, because they're very cute in my opinion. Now they are kind of chunky. I think they're supposed to be men and women, or used or worn by men and women, because they have, I'm pretty sure when I ordered these it said they were for both, but so for that reason they're a little bit chunky, but I like them and they're cute. These are obviously super neutral. Y'all know me. These are like I think it's cream and gray was the colorway. I will link them for you. But if you are needing a new pair of workout shoes, walking shoes, and you want something really comfortable and supportive, these are great. I love them. I wanted to mention a few new jewelry things that I've gotten recently. So I got this turquoise beaded necklace. I found this at TJ Maxx. And I don't know what it is. I've been really into turquoise lately. I don't know why. I also have a turquoise ring that I've worn over the years. You might have seen me wear it in videos, but I saw this woman on TikTok. I forget her name, but she has great style. She came up on my For You page, and she came up several times, and she had a beaded turquoise necklace like this. And every time I saw her, the necklace just stood out to me. Like I just couldn't stop staring at it. And so I messaged her and asked her where she got it. And it was from a brand called Heart that I had never heard of, but I looked it up and it was kind of expensive. It was like $300 for that necklace, but I loved it. And I kind of had my eye on it, but I was in TJ Maxx, or no, I was in Marshall's, and I saw this one, and this looks nearly identical to the one that she had, and it gives me the same look. This one was like $14.99. So I bought it, and you know what? I have just already enjoyed the heck out of this already. I haven't even had it for very long. So I wanted to mention it. I don't know. I think it's a really cute statement piece, and I just love turquoise. So I wanted to share. And then one other thing are these hoops. I've worn these in like my last 4 or 5 videos, but they're from Ana Luisa. They're called the Asher hoop. And I like them because they're two-toned. So half is silver, half is gold. I don't have too many two-toned pieces of jewelry, but I actually do like mixing silver and gold occasionally. And these are really cute. Like, I'll take them out. These are the medium Asher hoops. I will link them for you, but they're really easy to put on. They just kind of snap. And they're really lightweight and they're cute. So if you like gold and silver and you need just a good like everyday hoop, these are really cute. I've been wearing them, like I said, in almost every video. And then finally, I wanted to end with a book. So I've been trying to get back into reading at night instead of scrolling on my phone. I go through phases with that and I'm working on it, but I've recently been introduced to I'm not sure if it's Elin or Ellen, I'm not sure, Hildebrand. This is What Happens in Paradise, but this is part of a trilogy. So this is the second book. The first one was called Winter in Paradise. And that one, oh, I was hooked on that one. I read that one so fast, and I'm not a fast reader. I loved it so much that I went to the library and got the next one. I will say this one's not quite as good as the first one, but the first one I liked because there's a little bit of everything. A little bit of mystery, a love story, a little bit of everything. It's not gory or super scary or anything. It's just like everything that I like. It kind of reminded me of like Mary Kay Andrews when I've read her in the past. So I wanted to recommend Ellen Hildebrand if you are needing a new book to read. If you have anything that is similar to this that you think I would like, let me know. I like mystery, I like love, I like them when they're combined, but I don't want anything too crazy. Like nothing that's gonna give me a bad dream or nightmares or anything like that. But I have really been enjoying her book. All right, so that is everything that I'm loving currently. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. These are so much fun. It's just fun to sit and talk about all the things that I'm loving and enjoying and sharing them with you. Love to know in the comments, like always, let me know what you're loving. It can be makeup or skincare or shoes or anything. I love learning about new things from y'all in the comments. That's one of my favorite things. One of my favorite things about this channel is my community. I love all of you and appreciate all of you so much. All of your comments and your support. It means so much, and I love and appreciate all of you. So thank you for being here. Everything that I talked about will be linked in the description box and in YouTube shopping for you as well. And again, thank you to Dreame for partnering with me on a portion of today's video. If you're interested in the Chrona LED face mask, it will be linked in the description box for you to try it for yourself. But thank you for being here. I will see you again very soon. Remember, simply be you.